Hi, this is my lab 5 explainer video. So the goals for this lab is to do the loading, cleaning, summary, transformation, visualization, and the analysis. So let's get into our Excel sheet. So first, what we do is we have to load the CSV in. So what I did was I copied all the CSV data in the data CSV file, and then I pasted it here. And then now this is my first sheet. My second sheet is cleaning and processing them. So basically what we do is all the timestamp and the site ID, and we have to clean it in such a way that according to the instructions given. So here, what I did was we had to remove all the error values and the NA non-NaN values. So what I did was, and we also have to filter out so that all the numbers below 0 and above 100 should be filtered out. So what I did was I used the conditional thing for Excel. If for two functions, raw data, this references back this one, if the column D2 in raw data, if that is equal to error, remove it. If it is equal to NA, remove it. If it is less than 0, remove it. If it is greater than 100, remove it. If that is true, then put an empty string. If it's not true, then leave it as it is. So that's how we got this value. And then the global center ID, it's basically just B2 and underscore C. It concatenates all of them, and then gives us this value. And now what we do is, now we have to do the timestamp. So we have to write this in such a format that is given in the direction. How do we do that? So first what we do is we do the mid. It's like the substring of Excel. Mid, what it does is it extracts certain values. And what you can do with that is you can concatenate those values and you can merge them together as one. And then what you can do is you can put the date value attribute, convert it to a date value, and then we add the time value to it of the um the the little portion that we want to convert it to. And that's how we converted all the timestamp from whatever it was from raw data this into this. That's that. The summary, which is pretty easy, it's just count of data. And then from D2 to D2305, we did that. And then max, and then min, and then average, and then max of the reading at site 2, and number of readings at site 1. So what we do to these ones is we put an if statement. If from all of that is true, from this is the criteria 1 and criteria 2. If it is equal to from 2 criteria, find the maximum value, and we can do that by using this formula. Same methodology, we can use it for this one as well. Now we go into the transformation thing. So now what we have to do is we have to convert all the NA, all the empty values as a red highlighted box, and all the values above 90 as a green highlighted box. How did I do this? I used the pivot table, then I converted this into a regular table. So when I did my pivot table, what I did was that I basically used what I did was I converted all of them. I put 3 variables in the pivot table, and I can graph one here by timestamp, and then by timestamp by values in the actual table, and then the columns will be the sensor ID values of the global sensor ID. And that's how I did it. And then we use conditional formatting to format this. So let's say if it is NA, then put it as red. And then if it is we use conditional formatting. And what I did was I made a new rule. If it is NA, use a formula. If it is equal to NA, so we do this, use this formula of whatever column that we want. If we use this formula, we can basically convert that as an NA, and then we can highlight those using whatever colors that we want. And then the sparkline is just we just search for sparkline and then it does it for us. And the chart. So what we do for the chart is we take, for the first chart, we have to take the row labels and the number and the sensors at site 3 combined, and we have to graph that. And we have to find what is the value, the change in value in sensor ID number 1, sensor ID number 2, and sensor ID number 3 for all the site IDs of 1. And then we do that, we just use insert, and then that's pretty simple. And then this one is what is the value, the reading values at site 3 for all of the values, and we use the histogram to figure this out. And this is a box plot, and what this does is it gives us the maximum and the minimum, and then the 25% quartile range, the median, and the 75% quartile range for all of the 3 sensor IDs at site 2. And then we say the trend site. Let me change this. The trend site to sensor 1, we get that as a negative linear if we just graph using at site 2, 1. If we just graph it, we'll get a negative value. And that is my explaining video. Thanks for listening.